figure out how.
It's gonna be.
Gotta wait till they finish the building, so.
Yeah. It's all a big hole.
Yeah.
Call council meeting order, please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please. Toma?
Here.
Martin?
Here.
Stewart? Enzo?
Here.
Hoover?
Here.
Chanel?
Here.
Vicky? Here.
Under my statement, I would like to add paying the sidewalk to OHM under new business, item fraction, letter B. Also, we have a meeting on January 2nd. At this time, I'd like someone, I guess I could do it, make a motion to cancel that meeting.
I make the motion to cancel the January 2nd council meeting.
Or, motion's been made and supported. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Good. All right. Any public statement regarding current agenda items only?
Motion to accept the agenda. Did we do that?
That's the next one.
I'm trying to mark the calendar for January and do people's things.
All right, now Kim.
Yes.
Support.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry, we did miss that. You did miss number 5. Go ahead, Kim. Make your motion. Sorry, I'm hurrying.
Calendar. Motion to approve the agenda with your changes.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Good. There were no public statement. This time we'll need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So,
Support.
Motion been made and supported to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This time we'll need a motion to approve accounts payable minus root note for $110,708.04.
motion to approve accounts payable without root note for $110,708.04.
Support. Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. This time we'll need a motion to approve root note invoice for $1,570.
Motion to approve root note invoice $1,570.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Great part.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Abstain?
Abstain.
Wow. Don't worry me about stroke. That's not
Dude, I can tell you exactly where it happens, so we're good.
Okay. All right, items for introduction discussion. Discuss adding time restriction parking signs along North Saginaw Street.
There are some businesses complaining that the apartments are, people living in apartments are using that parking for long-term parking, instead of the municipal lot.
Designated lots back there.
Right, so,
We're
I've heard
supposed
a
to be
few
paying for their
times.
places.
right, seeing about maybe putting up 2-hour parking or 1-hour parking things.
Is that going to affect
On
the
North
bowling alley?
Saginaw Street? There should be signs up there.
There's halfway down there.
Okay. I was gonna say, I know there is right there in front of,
The pharmacy there are,
The phar-
in my.
in corner of
there
yours,
are.
yes, okay.
Down by the gathering place and Pintown there are not.
Gotcha.
Those spots are being taken long term, by people living, above those buildings, so, I said I would bring it to your attention.
Anybody want to make a motion for that?
Well, I have a question about that, because South Saginaw Street, there's apartments on that building that uses the parallel parking on the side streets as their regular parking.
On South Saginaw.
I only know this because
Line
I
Pearl.
water there
I mean,
every single day in the
Saginaw and
summer.
Pearl. There.
Yeah, there's apartments there that they use that as their parking. The same cars are there every single day. There's a motorcycle that always has a thing, and there's businesses on that side of the street as well.
Not many.
There's the health department, because the health department will use cones to block off the space to allow the dental bus to come in. Raymond's also has parking on that side of the street. Now, the people that use it for their apartments do stay down towards the end near the corner of Pearl. But just a thought, that they do use that for parking down there. So I don't know how we can get away with having two-hour parking on one end of the street, but not two-hour parking on the other end of the street, but we do have a designated parking lot, so maybe that's fine.
You gotta consider the bowling alley too, it takes 2.5 hours.
Well, there's still the lot.
Well, and we
We're
do
not
have a
talking
lot
about-
They fill up the lot too.
Right. But we're talking about just those few parallels.
Those parallels.
And
What-
the people that are in apartments, they're supposed to be paying for spots.
Right,
Right.
what happened to that, and what happened to the enforcement of
We
that?
could never really figure out a great plan, and it just kind of went to the wayside.
I thought that we had it all went by the wayside, did we not agree on tags that were to hang in the windows?
We did.
Man, we got some stuff that falls through the cracks, and I don't really understand that.
That's
So
no
that,
problem.
Do you want permit parking?
well, we had agreed upon permit parking, I believe it was going to be a
Yes.
$10 parking fee that they would pay for the
They park
entire
in-
year.
They park in the assigned spots there.
Yes, and they had assigned spots at the very first, set of parking on the south side of that lot, and those were the designated parking spots for the building, or for the apartments up above downtown, and there was some disagreement as to whether the people living in the apartments needed to pay the $10, or if the landlord needed to pay the $10. I see head nods, so I know that this came
Yes.
through here.
Then there was also questions of business owners wanting spots too, and I think we said no go on that.
Yeah. So something we need to revisit then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
So I say, that we revisit that, so I make a motion to add 2-hour parking signs to North Saginaw, and also adding that we revisit the permitted parking in that parking lot.
That sounds like a great job for finance and administration.
Why can't that be infrastructure? That's infrastructure.
Hilarious.
I tried.
I agree with you, it is infrastructure.
I know a guy with a record.
But you remember the most, so guess what?
Darn it, I love when I do
You
that to
spoke
myself.
up, you own it. Okay, you own it.
So as I thought, I remember we were gonna charge the property owner, not it was their job to collect from
Yes.
the tenant.
Yes, in there was some disagreement with some property owners calling the office unhappy about that, I
For
believe.
$10?
Okay.
Well,
Where are they parking? Good use here. Where are they parking at now?
On North Saginaw,
Yeah,
on the sides, like,
The
so in
left
front of
side.
Pintown, in front of the gathering.
in front of by the pharmacy.
Yeah.
all of those right through there. They used to park quite often by the pharmacy, Little Giant, whatever it's called now.
Yeah,
But
but
they're
there's
supposed to be in
signs
the
there
lot.
for 2-hour parking.
Right,
But not-
because when you go down the lot, you see there's numbered spots now. And they put those in because it was supposed to be, that tenant has this number, this tenant has that number.
We should probably also get this figured out
For snowplow.
for snow.
Yep.
Yeah. If we get any snow.
I believe this is why it came up to begin with, was because of
Yes.
the plow issues that we initially had because of that.
Cars all over the place then.
Could do what they do in Canada and just cover the cars with snow. And then make a snow car sculpture on top of it.
I will support Danielle's, motion.
Messy motion.
All right, a motion has been made and supported. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. There you go. All right, next up we have, OHM bill for,
For the demo.
okay. $37,598.12. This is for all of the sidewalk work this year,
That's
correct?
one done, so, up until this date, which was 10/25.
Okay.
This has all been budgeted for, we just need approval to pay it. And there's still more work being done, about $10,000 worth of work being done after that.
He's still pushing.
Yeah, they probably in the next couple of weeks though.
Well, trust me, when the snow started to fly, we went from he's pushing to,
I make a motion to approve the OHM payment for $37,598.12.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? carried. Committee reports, infrastructure.
Forgot one item on there.
Adopt
No, no,
administrator.
For action, letter B.
Adopt administrative.
Oh, yeah, I jumped right
process.
over it. Adopted administrator hiring plan.
No, items for action, B.
That was, I just did B. B was the sidewalk.
Oh, that's right, I didn't hear you.
I do have some notes on here. That's the wrong copy. There we go. Mostly semantics. I don't know if we want to work through this now, if we want to put this off, but if we could do it now. So on the first page, does anybody else have any revisions or modifications? Mine appear to be identical.
We can share.
First page, opening summary, buzzing we put under, in search for the next administrator, comma, ensuring a smooth transition for the community. Kim, I'm looking at you because you probably had better English tonight.
And one more time, where? Upon receiving?
Let's see.
Kid wrote down what I was
It's
supposed
the
to write, by the way.
last sentence of the second paragraph.
Well, and what I gave you is represented on this, so
I wrote verbatim what you gave me.
not under purpose.
Now it's time to fix it.
Anyhow,
Fix it.
where are you?
Last period, turn that to a comma, lowercase e. So it would be also assist in the search for the next administrator, comma, ensuring a smooth
Yes.
transition. Next one, I think we should strike the standard hiring offer from the accepting applications, because the offer is going to be contingent on experience.
Where's that?
Yeah.
Accepting applications, section, first sentence. Anybody?
You could switch standard to current. If you wanted, or you could strike it.
I would just strike it, because the offer is going to be variable based on the candidate. I mean, obviously, you're going to want to know what the offer is. All right, what was the next one? Selecting, interviewing candidates. I reworded that first sentence up to the comma to say the FAC will select up to 3 applicants to present to the village council, comma, still using the unique identifying numbers. Basically saying up to 3 instead of a solid 3.
Yeah, we discussed changing that too, in case there wasn't 3 applicants available.
Hit me with it one more time. FAC will select up to 3 candidates.
To present to the village council.
This
Replaces
is-
everything up to that first comma. Then it'll be council will decide which candidates will continue onto an interview. Council may select other candidates, plural, to be used as alternates should one or more of the top 3 candidates no longer have interest in the position. And under hiring candidate, make a motion instead of make the motion. And that's all I have.
I'll make a motion.
Mhm.
And we can vote on it. I'll get it fixed and we can vote in 2 weeks.
All right.
If everybody's good with that, and get another chance.
Sorry, sometimes the grammar gets to me. All right. So we're going to table that to the next one, we'll get some revisions. Committee report, superstructure.
No meeting.
Farm done yet?
No.
May next year. Finance and admin? Public safety, meeting tonight after the meeting. PDA?
Next week.
Chamber, should be later this month. Planning?
We had a meeting, we approved a special use permit for Brian Talbot out at 100 Owen to add another block of storage units. There was some discussion about needing to get busy changing some of our zoning problems that we have with the spot zonings. zone areas, some more discussion about the master plan. Denise brought a few things that she was able to find, sharing that it has been looked at and some things were changed as soon as 2016, not as late as 2010, I think was when we initially thought that the last changes had been made. We're still curious whether or not there's a flash drive out there with the changes on it. We were presented with an updated zoning map and a couple of emails, so I think the hunt is still on to try to find some of that information. Tom was not here, Rob Kehoe sat in his place, so aside from that special use permit, everything just kind of got pushed until our administrator could get in and figure some more things out for zoning.
Thank you.
Yep.
Airport?
Yep. Board?
Had 5 runs, bringing a total of 181, and all the fire department's work was not done yet. Still waiting for the drains and all that. Last Monday we had a Thanksgiving dinner for the firemen. It turned out really good. Scott's wife, Chris, did most of the cooking. Training was this past weekend, it went good. This coming Thursday and Friday is the blood drive. And if you got a real Christmas tree, make sure you keep it watered. And the next fire board meeting is next Wednesday, the 13th at 6 o'clock.
This Thursday and Friday is blood drive?
Yep,
At the station.
at the station.
Task force?
No meeting.
Parks and Rec?
No meeting.
Public statement related to any topic? We have Mike DeBar. Okay. Terry and Francis cook this? Alright. Took this one of those. Council member statements. Any council member wish to make a statement? Alright.
The candle walk was awesome.
Yeah, kudos
It was
to the,
awesome.
that's what I was gonna say. Kudos to the Candle Walk. committee.
Everything
They
about
did
the
a
candle
wonderful
walk,
job.
everything about the people that supported it, worked hard, busted their butts.
I could not believe how many people were down here on Friday. It was
I know.
insane.
Wonderful.
There was a great child baker that won first place.
Some peanut butter balls.
Not gonna name names.
Great event.
I do feel that the chili cook-off was good. So.
Was it does seem
Not
really
on my
exciting. But those, I'll say those were two awesome ideas, since this was the first year. The chili cook-off, I heard there were a bunch of people there. The baking one was cool. I don't sample the things that look good, Nobody knows whose I sampled.
But if
Come on.
I did sample a lot of them.
that chili cook-off was shoulder to shoulder, right?
Yeah, that's right. I peeked in that and I'm like, ooh,
Holy crap. We walked by Raymond's and it was packed. It was great to see.
You know, one of our concerns, right, was the lighting back here. Was it a lot better than this?
It was a little bit better this year. We did leave, they did leave up the solar lights, but they just didn't light up like they needed to. They still had the string lights up that they did. Those were okay. We did have a nice, new light out in the parking lot that worked really well. So I feel like lighting was a little bit better. They did move it down to, Saginaw Street, or not Saginaw Street, Chapman Street. So I think that also helped with preventing the cars from coming through. But yeah.
unless
it was
you
fantastic.
live on the corner of Pine and Chev,
Yeah, nobody cares.
there were a whole lot of parking issues there. Going down your driveway, we're not getting out.
Sure.
So, we put our cars in the driveway, and there were cars like down the street on people's lawns. I'm like,
Yeah. Which is odd because we parked at the funeral home both times here on front and plenty of parking there. Candle Walk did ask the public if they could park south of 57, just to help the community, but, people are gonna park where they want to park.
There are quite a few people who movies they put on too. That look like that.
That was a fun idea too.
So that was just over, because I got a call from out of nowhere. Hey, you need to be able to run a extension cord from your house to, I'm like, really? All right, I'll be back in about an hour. one of them extension cord. I'm like, you guys didn't check with the funeral home right there, but you can plug one into my house and blow up the thing so you can run the movie. It's right against the fence, so. Yeah, good turnout. I think it went well.
Agreed. All right, administrative report.
The water main on Broad Street, is fixed, and, the hole is filled with cement currently, so we can drive on it now. It's, road is reopened as of yesterday. We will have to go back and asphalt it, next, springtime, once the asphalt factories open back up.
What was wrong with it?
I don't know. It was leaking until they got to it, and then it exploded, so they.
Good thing they opened it up.
It was a rock, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it happened, but,
Pressure was encased, so they
Because
released.
all of our stuff is really old and nobody maintains
All of
it.
them.
last week we, received our portion of the crop that, we grow on village property. We leased some of our land for a farmer to
Maybe you should be more specific
Corn.
as to what kind of crop.
Yeah.
corn. Yellow dent corn. And, we sold it at, Anderson's in Oakley, and the price that we sold it for was $6,582.64. We get a third of whatever's grown out there. So that was our portion. And, thanks to the volunteers in Candlewalk, we already touched that, and, I'll be meeting with the engineers of OHM on December 18th, instead of the 19th, it's 18th, to try to find out the cause of the East Broad Street water main break. They've run some simulations, in their computers, and hopefully we'll have an answer to why that happened.
Yesterday when I went down there, some of that, gravel's got, there's a hole right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's to be expected, lots of rain.
And,
So we gotta keep eye on that,
Busy road.
We'll get snow on it.
not in the next couple of weeks.
Turn it
We,
into ice.
we dealt with that last year too, when they had that water main break right there in Rogers.
That's it.
All right, thanks, Tom. Work session marijuana ordinances, Tom passed out the light industrial ordinance, if you guys wanna give that a read through, there's not a lot to it. Welcome any comments, we'll probably go over it next week, vote on it most likely.
There are some, draft pages I have to get to you, I have to email them, showing what would be allowed in certain areas, and then change to the zoning map, and things like that. I have draft versions of that. I will get them, I'll have to email them though.
Anybody else have anything under marijuana ordinances?
Have you heard anything from the lawyer on the other ones?
The ordinance, or the odor mitigation one.
No, not heard anything.
This is the only one I have right now, so I can call them tomorrow and ask what it does.
It's filtrations and stuff we're talking about.
How long has he had that?
A while. But he also works for basically free, so I'm not gonna jump down his throat about it either. So, I think he bills us once a year for almost nothing.
It's not free, I'll tell you.
It's not free, but it's not normal lawyer price.
Not what a normal municipality lawyer would charge us, for sure. He does us a lot of papers.
Alright. Anybody else have anything before we close regular session?
Motion to enter executive session at 7:54.
You just waited for that to turn. Support.
Motion's been made, supported to enter executive session, all those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye. Before we go. It's not loaded yet, you gotta wait.
What?
The camera's not fully loaded.
The green light's on.
Alright,
Okay.
Now the green light's off.
But we all look, it's still,
I'll,
Okay.
you don't want me to list the numbers to you, or you want me to?
no.
You just make the motion.
Make a motion to give Mr. Evan Ho the contract we discussed.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor, you know what, we'll do a roll call vote on this one. Get out of my brain, Danielle. It's crazy.
I'm ready to go home, I'm tired.
I understand.
Toma. Yes. Larder.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Menzel.
Yes.
Hoover.
Yeah.
Chanel.
Yes.
Beaky.
Yes.
Do it, Beaky. You're so spineless.
Motion carried.
Yeah, no shit, yeah, it's official now.
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported to adjourn. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Road safety, you're ready for the next meeting.
Oh, I have to keep that soon. Thank you for that. I gotta get this cleaned out before the next.